Alright, and greetings! Hello, the world! We are here once again with another episode of the War of Inheritance. You will note that the wonderful Amy has been replaced by her perhaps more wonderful brother. This is Dan, who's going to be filling in. Those are some small shoes to fill. And she's going to be... Dan's going to be stepping in to... She's a wonderful role player, she just has tiny feet. Dan's going to be stepping in and he's going to be playing a character we have already met. What is your character, please, Dan?
I'm going to be playing Captain Swift today.
Captain Swift was the halfling captain who made a very unsuccessful pass at Lady Freya last time around.
Unsuccessful to you.
I like to think this is also the first that Dan knows about this. Now sitting next to Zoe, so for peak awkwardness options. Here we go.
Straight in there.
Okay. Gnomes for the win, says Chad.
I mean, that's reasonable, but he is a halfling.
This is a halfling who are differentiated from gnomes because halflings are diminutive fantasy races and gnomes are lame.
And also, halflings have the best racial ability in the game.
Halflings really do. Halflings have lucky, which is wonderful. Whenever you roll a 1 on anything, you go, I don't fancy that one, I'll have something
I think
else.
it's only on a d20.
Yeah, on a d20. But when you do it, whatever.
On a d20, if you roll a 1, you just get to go again.
Okay.
All the time.
So,
awesome.
This party
very briefly, what happened last session? Specifically, I'm interested in where we ended up.
Okay, so we wandered through the woods after successfully defeating, a black dragon, totally.
Sure.
Let's go.
Mark that XP.
Yeah, well done. We've leveled 5 times.
That's my first
Anyway, so we successfully dealt with a black dragon by not dying. Go us. We wandered out of the woods. We decided to go to Elaine's Hallow, or rather Jorg insisted that we would go to Elaine's Hallow and nobody else called him on it, which he was very relieved about. And then we wandered down to the Ellesmere, which is the big river. Is the thing
up to the
Ellesmere, which is Josh. Can we have a down cam?
Yes, we
I
can.
think we were going from here-ish and we were going northeast. So
We didn't want to go through the Redfist, so it's probably more like we went up to about here.
Yeah. So you have reached a settlement on the edge of the Ellesmere. What did you find at the settlement?
Some very nice dwarves, some very scared orcs, and some scary orcs. As it turns out, that entire lump that says Grey Eyes Orcs is basically plague and sadness. By the Dark Lord Galron, or whatever his particular honorifics are. Of disease and pestilence. Garlon, terribly sorry. Where's Galon from? Galon, and pestilence and disease and all things.
So there's some pestilence diseased orcs that you managed to dispose of and burn in a fire. We ended the session with you deciding to travel down the Ellesmere to the east in search of the Hallow of Elaine. How are you going to do that? What was your vessel for travelling?
I
Captain
procured a boat.
You did procure a boat.
Captain Lucille now has a new boat.
Lucille.
And
Taken the skull and crossbows off of my hat.
the
temporarily.
dwarves were very happy to join you on this venture. And so the last thing that occurred was the very first thing that happened in the morning when Jorg approached 2 of the orcs who were fleeing Garlon's influence and purged them in a spectacular fashion. And we'll pick up immediately there. The orc who you have just cleansed looks at you, pants heavily several times, says, "Thank you," and collapses back down, completely unconscious.
Okay.
Take me a medicine check, please. I'm aware that you are on track.
Natural one. Dead, Jim. I rolled a 6 plus medicine is off in wisdom, so 7.
Okay, 7. This guy's out, and he's like clearly some kind of crazy amount of arcane energy has just gone through him, or maybe divine energy. You're not sure, but he is unconscious, but very much alive.
Okay.
And he's probably going to be out for quite some time.
Divine sense. Something I talked with you about between sessions. Divine sense, specifically trying to catch any of the remnants of the black stuff that was in him in the first place.
Sure.
Am I getting anything off any of it?
No.
Okay. Good, you're not making it that simple. Excellent to know.
No, you are not. You turn on your divine sense, and there is nothing that pings.
Anybody else in the room? Lord Tyndall, the dwarf who got
No.
goo smushed in his face?
No.
Shame. Right, fine, that's fine.
You do not register under divine sense.
Okay, good to know. Because you are not a dragon yet. We're working on it.
Iris, not technically a dragon. Okay.
Iris pings under Iris pings under dragon sense, and York is like, guys.
The dwarves. Is there more or less time to get moving?
Yes, but what are we doing with these two now? I kind of look at the orc's companion. If you lean forward, I'll get your binocs.
She offers you her
Yeah,
hands.
yeah.
You untie her, and she says, "I will look after him if I have to. This is a relative safe building. We will stay until he wake. How long will it be? Do you suppose?"
First time for me too. I don't know.
She nods.
The other one, your friend who ran off.
Yes. Iskender.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do about this because.
Volume.
Sorry, I don't know what to do about them because.
Iskender may not be infected. It will probably be fine. You do not need to kill him.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I could hunt for him.
Yes. When your friend wakes up, if you can find him and keep watch on him.
I will. I will try to bring him. You are going to the Hallow of Elaine.
Yes.
I will try and bring him there.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you. You've untied her. She's fine. And she, she stood slightly taller than you, and then she's got down onto her knees, and she is.
Please don't do that.
No, but she grabs your hands.
Okay.
And,
Please don't do that.
Yeah. As you're just pulling away, she grabs your hands and she presses her forehead to you, and she says, "Thank you."
You are very welcome. Please don't get down on your knees. This is not fair.
Nice, isn't it?
No, my lady, it is not. Please don't do that. It's fine.
Amy, from halftime in her show, says, "We are battling the winds and rogue seagulls, but the show is going great."
Rogue seagull.
Speaking of, there is some kind of a river bird that goes screeching along outside and draws your attention to the fact that it is moving on in the day.
Oh, you mean in the game, not in
I mean
real
in the
life.
game.
That was a real story you were telling.
It was a real story. Amy has just said that.
Hello, Amy. We should get moving. What do you need loaded where? I'll ask to the dwarves. I've got.
The dwarves have loaded the boat.
Almost as if they're dock workers professionally or something.
You've spent some time with them and chatted with them over the evening. They're not just dock workers, they're also, sort of all the dwarves along here are river dwarves, which means that they hang out on ships. They are either working them to go up or they stop at a dock for a time. They're kind of travellers with fixed abodes, like they stop at the various docks that there are along the river for them.
My transitory workforce.
Yes, exactly that. So they are competent sailors as well.
Has anybody seen the captain? The short one, I mean.
Where are you, Captain Swift? Because you were not in the room when this purging occurred.
I am still asleep on the boat.
Okay. Oh, you fell asleep in the tavern.
My captain.
I'm in the...
Then I'm probably still asleep in the tavern.
Okay. You wake up as a goblin pulls you up.
Are you okay?
No more rum.
No. There is no more rum. It's on the boat.
To the boat.
Where's the rum gone? The goblins say goodbye to the dwarves, and they say they're going to do some tidying up, lock up, and disappear. The dwarves seem very happy with this, and yeah, the dwarves are all like, "Let's go. Let's set
Captain,
sail."
shall we? I'm glad to see you survived the evening.
Well, I can drink a lot better than you can.
That's not a game. That's not a game I'm looking to play.
Says the 2-foot halfling over you.
Not a game I'm looking to play. Not after how you played Neve last night.
Well,
Perception check, please. In fact, everyone can make a perception check.
14.
14. 15. Okay, Iris, you have known Neve the longest, and you have seldom seen her ill. She seems really well looked after. Certainly she did while she was tending the well. She was protected by the magical energies that were there. She don't look so good. She's doing okay. She's just a little bit pale, and you can see there's a thin sheen of sweat on her forehead.
I'll go over to her and go, are you feeling all right, Neve?
She turns to you and she says, I'm not sure.
I have some of the well water from...
She thanks you and she, I'm sick, says Amy. She shows you that she has some too. She says, yes, I'm not entirely certain what's wrong with me. I'm a little worried. I think I might need to speak to York.
York? Neve needs to speak to you. She's feeling a bit under the weather.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that until tomorrow.
Yes, you are.
I
gave you 5 extra points for exactly this purpose.
You absolutely did.
The other reason.
Sure. Sure. Kind of glance back at the orc with the brand of Elaine symbol on his forehead. Where do you possibly most want a symbol of Elaine on you?
This is a response which Amy will give you, and we will have to retcon this thing because she's not here, and I'm not going to brand her character when she's not here.
Absolutely fine.
Neve tells you
where she would like.
Where she would.
I give her a
right on the nose.
Elaine tramp stamp. Actually, we're going to go right in the small of the back.
Okay. You touch.
Sorry, tramp stamp's a really bad terminology. I'm sorry about that.
A butterfly tattoo. You touch. Touch Neve the druid, and there is a strange feeling. This is not like when you were touching the orc, in that you were forcing your divinity and your magic into the orc and purging it of all the vileness. You touch Neve, and it feels like there's almost you're being assisted by the power within her.
Okay.
She still goes stock stiff and still as a board.
Yeah.
And there is a coughing and a shaking, and a small dribble of the dark red liquid comes out. Not very much.
That's good.
She rolls her eyes back in her head and falls down unconscious.
I catch her.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get on the boat, shall we? Let's just get on the boat.
Sounds good.
Is she going to be okay?
I absolutely know what just happened, yes. I have no idea. I can only assume that this stuff coming out of her is good. She's still alive. Let's just get on the boat and go before any more of these things turn up, because I can't do that anymore to do.
You're going to burn the stuff?
That's a really good idea.
Or the red... Yeah, okay, great. It's not hard to do. You burn it. The goblins get annoyed that you're setting a fire in the tavern, and they go, you know what, that's probably not a bad thing. They come and help you. Does anybody have any business that they'd like to do here before we set off?
Do they have any? If it's been sorted already, that's fine. Is there any way we can get Lord Tyndall some slightly better equipment from here, because it is a trading point? Do they have any arms or armor?
It is the answer to that question is no.
Okay, fine. That's a simple result.
Okay. Everybody okay to get onto the boat? Mm-hmm. Lovely, because the dwarves
She's
are
leaking
really
gross
hurrying
stuff.
along.
She's not going in my cabin.
She's not leaking gross stuff anymore.
She leaked gross stuff. You guys are gross. She's gross. She hit me in the face. She's not getting in my cabin.
Sorry, you're breaking my immersion. Can you talk in a worse Irish accent?
I told Dan that he did not have to do an Irish accent for his character.
Unfortunately, Dan, you do have to do an Irish accent.
The world has spoken.
Very well. If that is what you need, Captain Swift, let's get going, shall we?
Captain Swift, you arrive on your boat, and you see that there are several broken lockpicks down by your chest.
Alright then, which one of you assholes tried to pick my lock? That was a worse Irish accent.
That was good. It was good.
Do not feel obliged to continue. But if you want to, we're all
Your knee-in arms carrying her up the plank is like, sure, that not it. I'm gonna take Neve down below in the hold and find her a quiet, dry place to prop her up in blankets.
Fine, you can easily
make sure
find her a
she's-
decent berth.
Sure, she's okay.
Yeah, so you guys settle Neve in and tuck her in safely. She is secure, she is dry, she is comfortable. She is going to wake up. When she wakes up, who knows how long that's going to take.
They went Amy read this.
Chat says that was a perfect accent.
Very well done.
I liked
It's
it.
better than any accent I could.
Yes, not only do you determine that someone has attempted to pick the locks on your chest, your hammock has also been slept in.
Alright. Every one of yous is banned from my cabin. Nobody goes into the cabin, or looks at the cabin, or does anything to the cabin whilst you're on the boat.
Says Captain Lucille.
Just loud enough for
Just loud enough for everybody to hear.
Did you go in my cabin?
You wanted me in
This
your
is a good
cabin.
accent. I like this. Yeah.
You don't need permission to go in my cabin.
The dwarves start shouting nautical terminology to each other, and they. Oh my god! It's like these people can competently captain a ship.
It's
They
Tim
can
Towers
boat.
with us, right?
Tyndall is with you. Yeah.
Boat checking.
No, he's gone nowhere. Tyndall's looking a little bit concerned by all of the paladin magic that's just happened.
Right. Okay. Jorg is currently busy. I assume being told to pull on things by dwarves.
So the dwarves are you cast off and you start making your way up the river. These dwarves are good sailors, and Captain Swift every now and again goes around and gives commands. And he,
Do that.
yeah, I mean, Captain Swift clearly knows what he's talking about. This is his boat, and he has a
Splice the down sail.
yeah, he's got a good eye for
Spin the fingerboard.
yeah, he's got a
Up the top bit.
the mizzen.
Hard to port and then starboard and then port again.
Okay, he's drunk, but he's.
No, that's the problem. He's sober.
Captain Swift is negotiating the boat successfully through the currents. It's a pretty big river, but it's not a tiny boat, and the dwarves are doing a decent job. The dwarves don't need you to help. They can sail this boat on their own, and when you start going, "Can I be of assistance?" they ask you a couple of questions and then go, "No."
Okay. No, I appreciate
They
that.
go, "Do you know what that is?"
No.
No.
Okay. I think, to be honest, Jorg kind of appreciates that because, again, being in military service, it's probably something he's had to do to somebody else before. It's like,
A civilian comes up and goes, "I want to help," and you go, "That's do you have
They
a
pull
you
on
ever
the
held a sword
sheets and they
before?"
go and find a bed.
Yeah.
do you know how to do watch rotors? No, fuck
Right,
off.
yeah, go ahead. Okay, so you make your way. It is a day that is quite grey and overcast. It is not really raining, that kind of horrible weather where if it would just properly rain, then you go, "Oh, that's fine, we can go inside," but it's not quite grim enough for that. It's just a bit dank and nasty. Lord Tyndall comes up to you and he says, "Captain Swift, I would just like you to know that I do not appreciate the tone you were taking last night."
What tone would that be, Mr. Tiddle?
Jorg on a side rail.
Just that man's inspiration.
Firstly, I love this. You can absolutely have inspiration. Secondly, he said this in Browter, which you just about understood, and you don't speak Browter particularly well.
Okay.
So you understood everything that he said, and just imagine, you don't have to act it out, but just imagine that everything that you say is kind of said in a thick foreign accent, which is the Irish, so that works fine. Have some inspiration, Dan. I will get you a token in a second. I've lost all my things. We moved everything, I've lost everything. Great. Here is some inspiration for you. You can spend this at any point. This is good for one reroll on any roll of a dice.
Something better than that is roll an additional dice, and then you can choose which one you, isn't it? Or
yes. You can choose to have advantage. You're going to have advantage and roll 2 dice and pick the best, or you can roll a dice and go, ooh, that sucked, and spend your inspiration to reroll.
Yeah, cool.
And keep the better result. Sweet. Oh yeah, it's true. Nightbot has come down hard on Team Swift. That is the side that Nightbot has clearly chosen.
Well, Nightbot was always a bastard, so.
The dwarves are kind of muttering among themselves, and one of them comes over to you and says,
I'll hand them with some drink.
Okay, the dwarf looks at you really strangely, says, George Knapp, Gore Hanneman, Garrett.
Yes. Soldier, this person needs some help.
I was just asking her if she were in charge of this outfit.
Let's go with yes.
Just because y'all seem to handle yourself all right in the fight, but
she is a noble of Merrick, so is very much my
Merrick's one of them Browder countries, right?
the one directly to the south of here.
All right.
Essentially, the one that keeps sending soldiers north, or was up until recently, and
I know.
she is my boss. As for Iris and Neve, they are more independent. Lord Tyndall there it gets complicated. How long you got?
Not that long.
Okay.
Just saying, watch out. There's been not much trade for a week and a half, pushing 2, and that means there's trouble up ahead. Hope you're ready.
We should keep an eye on things, because the lack of trade down here means that there's something weird going on, and it's probably not friendly. So keep your wits about you and your weapons to hand.
If we're going to spend any time in this land, maybe I should start teaching you how to speak Estalian.
That definitely sounds like a thing you two should talk about. Anyway.
Peasant language.
And away.
Perception check, please.
20.
Natural or just
No.
okay. You are standing on the prow ship, and you're looking ahead up the river to navigate the currents, and you can see that it gets it's like there's a bank of fog that you're going to be sailing into. Visibility is heavily obscured.
Yo, boys, roll the speed down now.
Yes. Apply the boat brakes.
But you can.
No, I get it.
So your progress slows.
Lower the sails.
I will let the dwarves handle it.
The dwarves respond, and the boat slows, but it doesn't stop. You're still heading east down the Ellesmere, and this bank of fog is approaching. You all get a strange, as you see it now, you get a strange chill, like hairs rolling over the back of your like the hairs rising on the back of your neck.
Divine sense.
Divine sense.
Yeah.
Range, please.
I think it's line. I think it is. I need to get closer.
30 foot? That's detect magic, isn't
But I
it? Detect
think I
magic
can
is
maintain
30.
it.
Something like that. Tell me the range and divine sense. And while this happens, I mean, unless you stop, the boat is going into the fog. It's not the end of the world. There's not necessarily terrible things in there.
Spooky fog.
60 feet.
60 feet. Okay, you're too far away from the fog. to
I'm
detect
going
it.
to, if I was in the if I know
In that case, I'll do it
area,
again when I get closer.
I'm going to swap into my level stuff and get my bow out.
You're getting okay. So the dwarves see you guys arming for combat, and they are. Let's see how these dwarves react. Reassured. This is what you're here for. You're here to defend them while they sail the boat. And so one of them was thinking about going to get a crossbow, but it's like, no, you know what? My job is to steer this ship and make sure that the ship is working fine.
Well then, stowaways, time for you guys to earn your keep.
Stowaways?
You're on my boat. I don't want you on my boat. Stewie.
I mean, last night you were all like, oh, please, if only there was somebody to escort me down to Ellesmere because I've been stuck in this shithole for so long.
To her. Everyone knows
Actually,
the girls
you
love
can't
the
understand what
damsel
we're
in
saying.
distress act.
Oh dear, Team Swift. Okay.
Yes. If you say so.
Bing, bing, bing. Your paladin Dar.
Oh no.
Yorg suddenly straightens for a moment, and there's the wind that billows the sails seems to carry a chill on it, some kind of unnatural presence. You all feel this. It feels uncomfortable, and you're getting an ominous sense about whatever lies within this fog. Yorg, yours is divinely inspired. You can sense the presence, and in fact, this happens with a message from Elaine. You. That's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. We're holding an intervention.
Customer
There's too many dun-dun-duns.
Too many dun-dun-duns.
Not everything is that dramatic. Elaine says, hello, Sam G.
Why did she say that? Yes, sweetheart.
Elaine turns and Elaine says to you, Elaine turns. Stop it, Josh. Elaine says, there are monsters ahead. Ready your weapon. Keep strong your faith.
Okay.
You sense undead.
Oh. Will I have ever encountered undead before, Josh?
No, but I'm telling you so that you
No,
know what this sense feels like. You have never encountered undead. That is a dark and strange magic.
This is whatever we're about to come into. It's bad. So
It's just some fog.
no, it's really not.
How close is it?
I don't know what it is, but it just feels
The
cold.
ship slides into the fog, and everybody's
How
visibility
close is it?
is deeply obscured.
This fog.
How far does the boat have a crow's nest?
What do you think I'm running here? Some sort of high skydiving party? No. We have sails, we have boats, and we have oars. What do you want?
You could climb the mainsail, I guess.
Uh,
There isn't a crow's nest up there, but you,
so how much visibility is there? If I went up the mainsail, would I still be able to see the boat?
it's pretty thick. You can see about 5 to 10 feet in front of you, and then everything is a blanket of grey and
Okay,
white.
no, I'm going to stick near the paladin.
Strong.
That's a pretty good choice.
Can we see from the front of the boat to the back of the boat?
No, not in its entirety.
Okay, everybody stay close to somebody else. Don't get separated. Not in this.
This York's voice you hear coming out of the fog seems a bit muffled and distant, and it's quite hard to tell which direction it's coming from. There's shouts in Dwarvish, which nobody here understands, and there is a sudden shout from somewhere on the boat, though it is hard to tell in the fog where it came from.
I'd like to.
This seems like a reasonable time to cast Bless.
That does seem like a very reasonable time to cast Bless.
Would you like to cast Bless? Who are you casting Bless on? Lord Tyndall draws his blade.
Yorg, Freya, And Tyndall.
Fair enough. No plus for you. That's what you get for your out of my cabin shenanigans.
Yeah.
There is a. Okay, so you cast Bless.
Got some D4s.
Oh, I do. Again, somewhere, but I really do.
Yeah.
You cast Bless, and a very. This is a strange sensation for you. As you cast the spell, you feel there's a slight throb from your knee tattoo, which is the tattoo which appeared last session.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
there is a D4 for whoever. Give everybody who got blessed a D4. I'll take one for Tyndall. Sweet. There is another shout in Dwarven, and there is the sound of running footsteps, and you think you hear some sort of a snarling. You're not entirely sure what it is, Freya.
I'm going to try and localise where this is.
Okay, take me a perception check. Freya, what's your armor class?
15.
15. You are so hit. Would you like to make me a Constitution save, please? The answer is yes. Yes, you would like
With
to make
plus
me.
D4.
Oh yeah, because you've been blessed. That's a bit tricky.
No.
Actually, I don't have a D4 on skill. So. 14.
What do I add for Constitution?
Your con modifier. And plus your
oh, yeah.
plus 2 if you're trained in con.
13.
13, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so on a 13... where is my stuff? It's gone. On a 13, you're okay. So would you like to merely take me...
You're welcome.
would you like to merely take me 6 points of damage as a claw slashes into you? This claw looks human, but bits of it are falling off, and so you're being attacked by the bone, it looked like. And then the shape kind of disappears once again into the shadows with a snarl. What did you get? 14?
Yeah.
On a 14, I will give this creature disadvantage to attack you as you wheel. And it nearly hits you. You turn and you see some kind of really dripping wet thing lunges out of the fog with you. It looks like a human or humanoid creature that is sunken in. Its skin is pallid and hanging off in places. It is very clearly dead. Its eyes are lifeless, and it comes in to try and bite you. And it fails to do so. You turn and you clang, and it bites at Mail, sneers at you, snarls, and disappears once again into the fog.
Can I get an attack of opportunity as it withdraws?
Yes, you can.
With a magic weapon.
Magic weapons.
That's definitely cocked.
Use a dice tower. Wow!
Fuck's sake!
Keep cocking dice with your dice tower.
Well, it came out good eventually. That's an 18 on the dice, I assume that hits.
18's pretty good. That really hits.
8 damage, magic.
8 damage. Okay, I'll take it. Didn't enjoy it, but I'll take it.
Did you roll your D4 to hit as well?
I didn't actually.
Lovely. Can I have some initiative from everybody?
Oh
please?
no.
That was
York is buffering.
That was the surprise round.
No, York is actually pretty on the wall. Another micro patch has happened. I don't know if you've been in on this
What is
particular
every
joke, but York rolls really bad.
Also 10.
Does he? Oh, okay.
So you both get 10. Okay, if you'd like to take your character card and write your initiative in pencil on the front, that's fine.
Can I steal the pencil?
Do it, that's cool. So, yeah, in fact, this is the way we'll do it. We are using brand new initiative cards that Jacob has made us. The way we're going to do it for future sessions is everybody's going to start with them, roll their initiative, write them on, and then put them on in the right order. Okay.
Tyndall needs to
He does. Tyndall gets a 18.
That's all.
Because he's
Nice.
pretty awesome.
Didn't protect me from that claw, though.
No, he did not.
12.
Okay, so
Oh no. It's the fog.
yes. So Lord Tyndall is up first. Lord Tyndall draws his sword and he says, "Freya, Freya."
My love!
He comes charging towards you. He is going to, Freya, Freya. You hear, and his voice goes quieter and quieter. It is York. You're up.
I'm going to start gathering people. Who am I closest to? Can I see anyone?
I was next to you while we were prepping.
Yes, okay, so you are within sight, within 10 feet of Freya.
Okay.
And only Freya.
I am going to stand next to Freya.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, my lady, we need to move. We need to find other people. We need to not be separated. Move, and I will move with you. I will ready an action to move with Freya when she moves.
Good choice. Okay, so that was Jorg. Now Staff. Captain Swift, what is your armor class, please?
15.
15 is not bad.
That was worse, I think.
You are missed. There is a shape in...
fog.
Oh, no. I tried to be fog, but I missed. Will you please make me a perception check?
Yes.
So you can figure out what this thing is.
18. 16 on the dice plus 2.
18's pretty great. You see the same sunken creature with long claws. It clearly was human and has been manipulated by some form of horrible dark energy that attacked you and missed. Right. That appeared to attempt to grab you from out of the fog. It is your turn.
Stab it in the face.
I pull out my oar and attempt to whack it off my boat.
Your oar?
That is my weapon of choice.
Can we possibly also not use the phrase "whack it off your boat"? Can we not have that in sequence?
Thank you for repeating it and drawing attention to the...
I thought
We should take the oar and whack it off the boat.
Okay, so you're going to have to locate this thing. Make me a perception check. See if you can find it.
16.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you saw it skitter away into the fog, and the the boards of your boat creak and move with the rolling of the ship, but you know this ship like the back of your hand. You know exactly where it is just by listening. In fact, you're pretty sure that you could accurately locate everybody on deck at the moment just by the sound that the deck is making, because this is your ship and you know how it works. So you confidently stride over towards the ghoul, for that is what it is. Would you like to make an attack, please?
Yes. Do I roll for my oar again?
Roll me a d20 and I'll tell you what you get. It's always a d20.
I'm not D&D pro.
No, that's fine.
Oh, great.
You're probably all right, actually.
8.
So you'll be probably +5. What's his? Okay, so
What did you roll, an 8?
Yeah, an 8 plus 5 for my oar.
13. 13 will, I believe, hit the school.
Is that what it says next to the oar? It says +5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So 13 hits the ghoul. Like,
Congrats, you hit the
undead
ghoul.
are traditionally quite easy to hit.
I'm going to...
Useful for my bad dice roll.
We'll run for that. We'll run with that for now. And would you like to roll some damage? Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the damage dice?
D6 plus 3.
There we go. D6 plus 3. Is 6.
6.
6 damage. I didn't enjoy that either. Stop it. Stop hitting my things. I need them. Okay. Yes, you whack into the ghoul with your oar, and it recoils from you and slinks back off into the fog. You're pretty sure you could still locate it, however. And then let's go with Lady Freya.
Disadvantage.
That's fine. Perception check to impose that disadvantage.
Disadvantage perception check. Yes.
It's
The
not that hard.
13.
13 is not quite enough.
That's absolutely fine.
But they're rolling stuff. Lady Freya, you are attacked as another ghoul leaps at you from the darkness. Thank you very much. And it really hits you for... would you like to please take me a Constitution save?
With plus D4?
Plus D4, that bless is really good for this combat. Good choice.
13.
You're okay. But you do still have to take me... I'm sorry.
I'm not okay with taking this much damage.
9 points of slashing
That's
damage.
not okay!
As the claws rake into your other arm. You know how... I mean, your armour has taken the brunt of these blows, the brunt of these blows, but you can feel these things strength there, unnatural and vital, and it's you.
It'd be quite good if I went first, if that's all right, because we're tied on this.
You are?
Okay. So what I'm planning to do is to use prestidigitation to send up some coloured sparks to come to me as a beacon to, like a flare. So sending up sparks saying, move towards the sparks. Everyone come this way.
No.
I shout as loud
Yeah,
as I can.
that's fine. You shout as loud as you can. You
Come over
hear
here.
"Move toward the sparks! Move toward the sparks!" comes at you from the sea of white that you find yourself standing in. You all hear this, and there is a like a little firework. It's not very big, but you can see a bright red flash from within the thing. You see the sparks. That is a really cool idea. I really like it. Have some advantage. I'll give you haha.
That is my action.
I made it one round and then
That was it. Freya, you're up.
Okay. Can I ready an action to actually try and defend myself next time any of this nonsense happens?
Is your action and then move.
And then move towards the sparks.
You want to disengage?
Are we
Ooh.
currently engaged?
Oh, is it still next?
No,
to me?
no, no. It moved up and then it's moved away.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move towards the sparks.
Great. York follows you. Yep.
I am going to draw my crossbow and load it.
And your
Okay.
Bonus action. Cunning. You can. What can you do? You
Oh,
can
yeah,
dash
You can dash, disengage,
or hide.
or hide, or I think there's another
As
thing
a
that
bonus
swashbucklers
action.
can do as bonus actions. Swashbucklers are really good.
But you could move even faster.
You can definitely go crossbow in one hand, sword in the other. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you've got hand crossbow and sword, and your hand crossbow is loaded. You're ready to go. You've been attacked, but they will not get the better of you.
Yeah.
It is Tyndall, and
I'm
Tyndall
also hurting.
has seen and heard the sparks and come running towards you guys. You see a shape moving towards you. You're constantly just kind of and it's illuminating the area a bit better, which is making it easier to see some of the stuff that's coming towards you through the fog. Tyndall, you can see a small shape comes running in, and then there's this loping thing that moves in, and Tyndall is borne off to one side. You hear a "Ah!" and he's pushed out under the assault. That was him. You're up. Make me a perception check, please.
I was going to say, did I see that happen?
Make me a perception check. Yes, you're great. You arrive with the Lady Freya at the space where Iris is sending up sparks, and you can see that Captain Swift is. Are you making your way there, or are you?
Yes, I will be making my way there. And
On his initiative.
On your
Did I see Lord Tyndall get borne off to one side?
Yes, you did.
In that case, I'm going to say, stay together, and I'm going to move over to where Lord Tyndall was borne off.
Off you go.
And I will attempt to engage the thing over there if I can do so.
Sweet.
Yes, stay together.
Stay together.
Come with-
Okay, so you're moving effectively as a unit.
Yeah,
that's fine.
If that's something that we can all do, I'm happy.
I'm
with
okay
that.
with this. You all spend your movement. You can take your actions at different points in the initiative. This is kind of off table combat.
Well, because we can't see what the fuck's going on.
There's a reason for that.
Um,
I thought about many ways of trying to do this on a grid, and you just can't.
Can I beam the thing that's attacking Lord Tyndall?
I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 12.
12 is okay. You do not. You're welcome. Run off the edge of the boat.
Not really for the best.
Which you nearly did. This fog is turning you around. It is hard to find your way. You were sure you went off in kind of that 90-degree arc, and you set off in one of it, and you reach the edge of the boat very quickly, and then you turn and you can see Tyndall is struggling with a ghoul.
I'm going to lump it in the face.
You lump it in the face. Make me an attack, please.
No, actually,
D4's gonna help, yeah.
10 plus the... I'm gross. 17.
17 is... 17 is...
on a D20.
You really hit.
I mean, with
this
less,
could-
but-
Okay, so you reach out with your magical axe. Smite, yeah, do it. Oh my god, it's undead.
I did roll 2 ones. So that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage, which is powered by a smite.
And magical.
Alright, I'll take that as a win.
Did you do extra smite damage because it's undead?
I don't know, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Sorry, that's something from you. I think that's something from your end, is it?
No, when paladins smite fiends or undead, they do an extra d8 damage anyway just for being fiends and undead. It's fine. You are 1 damage short of killing it. You do more with your extra smite, so it is dead. You as you raise your axe up and you bring it down, there's again the arc of white light that it leaves in its wake, which slams into the chest of this ghoul. You hear frail old bones splintering and collapsing, and the ghoul tries to claw at you even as it dies, and you wrench the axe out of it, and it collapses down to one side. Tyndall he can't deal. He's going. He's trying to clear the blood off of him. This is a horrifying thing for him to go through. Captain Swift, you're up.
I'm going to run towards the lights.
Okay, you get there and you
shouting at them to stop setting fire to my boat.
Captain Swift, a tiny figure in a big hat with a bristling moustache. You can actually see the moustache through the fog. It cuts the as he moves through. The moustache appears first, followed swiftly by the captain, and he says,
"Tyndall, get up, you big baby."
I love it. Are you attempting to...
I am attempting my bardic inspiration.
Least inspiring.
I love this so
I don't
much.
know, from Tyndall's point of view, being shown up by his possible rival possibly is.
Okay, yeah, great. Give him a d6. I'll give it to him here. So he is blessed and with a bardic inspiration. Tyndall's ready to go.
Okay, I have the pencil in a second.
No, my pencil.
Locked and loaded. Okay, Tyndall's going to have a go at getting up. Meanwhile, this thing... Iris, you are being the centre of attention, creating lots of sparks and flashes. And from behind you, you feel a pair of claws grab you and try and pull you backwards.
Is she close enough to me?
No.
Okay.
You have disappeared.
No, that's absolutely fine.
What's your AC, please?
12.
It's 12, exactly 12.
Then I shall cast shield.
Then I will... You'll be fine. All right. So, okay, that's interesting. So, there is a orb of light which goes, and you see surrounding Iris as she turns at the attacker that would be attacking her. You can see it is a ghoul, and it looks just like this horrible thing that has leapt at you and was physically repulsed by the shield that you put up. It scratches off the orb and rolls down, and you were stood right up against the side of the ship, and it goes and falls down off the side of the ship to land with a splash into the water.
As they got onto here in the first place, I'm reasoning that's not too much of an issue for her.
One of the dwarves shouts something from further up the boat.
Okay, move together, and we're going to move together, everybody, and I'm going to move up in that direction.
Great. We'll keep this order for future, but we're out of initiative for now. Jorg marshals everybody. How do you feel about Jorg marshalling people on your boat?
I try and run ahead of him and just be 2 steps in front of him.
Giving the same order half a second later.
I'm also a little bit focused on Lord Tyndall. Is he more with it now? Is he...
The shout from Captain Swift seems to have snapped him out of the daze, but you've seen this happen on the battlefield before. He just had like a spray of arterial blood right next to his face, and he just went white for a moment. He went,
yeah, that's fine. He is, however, functional at the moment.
Correct.
Right,
He's
excellent.
up and functional.
I
We're
am
gonna
trying
move
to
towards-
reassure him as well. And also getting some reassurance from being next to him.
Okay.
We're going to move towards the dwarves, and we're going to see if we can meet up with them.
You move towards the dwarves, and the dwarves are engaged in a... they are in a fight. They have abandoned their posts, and they are attempting to fight a ghoul. One of the dwarves is lying on the ground, completely frozen in position.
Dead or frozen in position?
I think that's what happens if you fail.
Completely frozen in position.
Sorry, this is more your...
You can't tell. The fog is still pretty bright.
Okay.
Can I take a shot at the ghoul?
Yes, you can.
Fred takes a shot at the ghoul.
With advantage.
Well, with advantage.
No, don't give her advantage.
You're attacking
That's where
from
sneak
him.
attack comes from.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to use my marksman. So
Yeah. How much damage did you do?
59.
I got like
You
more,
hit.
more
You
than
really
20.
hit.
More than
In future, when you're rolling attacks, if you roll the attack and damage dice at the same time, it saves time, and I'll just tell you if it hits.
So roll
Okay.
1d6 and then 2 more d6s.
5, 7, 17, 23,
Oh my god!
25.
Wow. Okay.
What sort of crossbow is this?
Freya one-shots a ghoul. Okay, so Captain Lucille spins just to be cool. Okay, so Lord Tyndall says, I'm glad to know that I'm here with you. I think we can get through this. And you're like, damn straight, son. Blam! And a crossbow bolt goes through this ghoul's eye, out the back of its head, and it staggers backwards, not realizing that you've taken the out of undead. And the dwarves come and shove it off the boat.
My sight of that scene was, one moment, my love, twang. Saying,
yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't super cool then. I was like, it was a very like, that's for fucking slashing me up earlier. I'm still in pain.
Okay, good job. The dwarves are
all of you here?
What's up with him?
George, get up. No. We'll sort that in a second. Are all of you here?
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Right, good. Okay. I'm going to look at the dwarf. Is he... I'm going to
try spell just in case. There's no reason not to.
Go for it.
Sure. You reach out with your power. He is not dying.
Okay.
Okay, he's not dying.
He's not dying.
Right, okay.
Nope.
Who's steering the boat?
The boat steers itself.
There is a
Be back in a second.
crunching noise. There is a crunching noise, and you all need to take me a dexterity saving throw to stay.
Some of you have D4s.
Right.
Nat 20.
This is your boat, dude.
This is my boat.
10, 24.
10,
18.
24, 20.
No, wait, sorry, 26.
Sure, because why
Freya
not?
does a quadruple backflip.
Yeah, you actually you hear the crunch, you feel what's going to happen, and you leap, and the boat rocks underneath you, and you land and go, oh man, that could have been awkward.
And then Tyndall knocks me over.
Yeah, you
has a D4.
leap. Oh, he's got a D4. He might actually manage.
And Bardic Inspiration.
Which he might not waste on that. He doesn't need to. You go, Tyndall. Tyndall. And one with the boat. Anyone get less than 15?
Yes.
Great. You're
The one in heavy armor.
you and the dwarves actually with advantage because they are boat people. Great. The dwarves stay on their feet. But Yorg falls over and you are not off the boat. You're not in anything like that. This boat has, however, crashed into something. The damage to the boat will need to be examined, but the boat has stopped moving.
Do you guys want to go downstairs and check on the boat and make sure nothing's leaking?
Yep.
Go together, all of you. I'll look after him. I'm going to pick the other dwarf up.
Yep.
We can try and carry him down.
We're going to go and make sure the captain is all right at the back of the boat.
Oh, yeah, he ran off.
If you crashed into something, you'll be at the front.
But he won't be now.
Not with my nat 20.
So on a natural 20,
You skate.
you ran towards the thing that was going to see what you crashed into.
Okay.
I will follow him then.
Fine.
If we can see him, we'll follow him.
Cool. The dwarves take their fallen comrade and
Okay, they're going to.
they'll take him. That's fine, and they'll head downstairs below decks to see what the hell is wrong with the boat and if there's water pouring in from anywhere. You reach the front of your ship, and you see that the prow is cracked, and there are several splits in the boards down the front of your boat. There will be water coming in below decks, and you have crashed into. In this fog, it's hard to tell, but you have crashed into certainly another boat. It's the Black Pearl. In fact, as you look, you're pretty sure you can see shapes in the mist, dark shapes through the fog, and there might be more than one boat here. None of them are moving.
I run below deck and start patching up the holes in my ship.
Yeah, okay. The dwarves stand, the dwarves who are desperately trying to find things to patch you, order out the way. No, out of the way. And you come and fix your ship. Nobody's here to witness this, but you repair the damage that was done to your ship. The beams reknit themselves, and the water stops spraying in. And mending is the best cantrip to have on a boat.
You're absolutely right.
It turns out.
Absolutely right.
I think mending's one of the best cantrips. full stop. I think it's amazing, and nobody takes it as a real shame.
Lofi will fight you with Mage Hand.
That's fine, but Mending can do stuff that Mage Hand can't do.
No, for sure. Mage Hand.
Slowly. Right, meanwhile, where are you guys?
Are we stuck? Are we like actually rammed into the boat, or are we now
Is it
like
another
moving
boat,
past
really?
it?
So you get there. No, you have stopped. You are stuck. You are rammed into. Take me perception checks, everybody.
The fog is still as thick as it ever
It
was.
is.
I assume.
It's moving. There are patches of clearness within the fog. So every now and again you'll go, oh, a little clearing within the fog of 20 feet of vision.
Yeah.
8.
11. 16.
12.
Okay, York, you can see that there are at least 6 other ships that have. You're not sure how they're there, but they are in the middle of the river. They are not moving.
There's at least 6 more.
We need to get pushed off of this.
Captain Swift returns having completely and very quickly fixed the damage to the ship.
Is everything all right downstairs?
Top of the morning. Well, the afternoon, because you guys wanted to sleep in.
My blessed probably by now. It's been a minute.
Yeah, okay.
What do you make of this?
Looks like a boat.
Yes, there's more than one. There's about 6 of them I can see out there. They're not moving.
Is there any wind?
There is. It's pretty. There, like the fog is shifting slowly, but it's not moving away from you.
I can try and help move the fog, but not very much.
think we need
Just
to move
clearing
the
it
boat.
in a local area.
You can prestidigitate a clearing. Okay, so
Mike.
Iris makes some symbols with her hands, and you will feel slightly refreshed as some of the ill wind that is around is blown away from you. There is a small clearing around your group that is made by the prestidigitation. It's not much. The fog is still just as thick beyond you, but as long as Iris is doing this, you'll be able to see and talk to each other with relative clarity.
My concern, my lady, is that what on one of these boats may be the source of this problem, and or there might be survivors from other situations like this.
You hear from within the fog.
This is such a trap.
What we do with traps.
Yes, my lady. Taking a leaf from your book, my lady, of course. Right, let's...
The dwarves come up. One of the dwarves comes up to you. You see he has a rope tied around him, which is leading off back that way.
Is it attached to other dwarves?
Probably is. He comes up and he says, Captain, what are we rightly doing?
Well, we
Okay.
need that to be someone else's problem.
There's nobody else here. Actually, this is a really good thing. Are all of these other boats relatively close in together?
From what you can tell, yeah.
Okay.
It looks like they're kind of maybe crashed together.
Divine sense the lot. This is my last one of the day, but it does give me precise locations of bad things.
Within 60 feet.
Within
That
60
is
feet.
a really cool ability I should have read.
Hang on, I will read you exactly what it does.
That's fine.
so you
No,
don't-
it's fine. Within 60 feet, you get exact pings of things. Cool.
I don't need to give away anything because
No.
It's
I will tell you right now. Within 60 feet.
Do you know the location of any celestial fiend around there within 60 feet of you that's not behind total cover? So if they're within the boats, it's less of an issue.
Right. You get a general sense.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do for this, and I'll look at exactly how this works in a second, but you get a general sense that there be more of those things
Yeah.
up that way.
Is there any? Am I getting a more impressive bloom of anything in particular? Am I getting this? Am I getting anywhere in particular that is more off? That smells? That feels?
Within 60 feet, I'm afraid the answer is no.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. There are more of them over there.
Larger area than
If there are people,
We really need to.
Is the boat that we crashed into nicer
you really
than
need
the
to
current
walk. You
boat?
need to actually finish that
Help
sentence.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Right. Cool. We're on the same page. Let's go.
There's no much nicer than
I'm
mine.
not
No,
asking you.
you look. It's hard to tell. It's really foggy. It could be.
We need to go onto the boats. Okay.
Onto that boat.
Onto these boats. We need to find out what's causing this and
You
stop
mean
it.
those boats that don't work, that are clearly abandoned, that look spooky as shit?
Yes, those ones.
Yes. The ones that are stopping all trade up and down the Ellesmere and will put you out of a job.
I'm afraid you won't talk them out of it.
Thank you, my lady.
I don't think it's you are the one that's afraid.
I'm a bit afraid.
Tinsley goes,
You can stay here and look after your boat if you wish, Captain.
I turn to the dwarves. You don't go in my cabin. I know it was you last night. You can go in my cabin, but only to clean away my tea. You make
now,
one of
come on,
those
we need
things
to go.
and we're going this way.
okay, you turn, having finished giving the dwarves orders. The dwarves are going, I guess we'll... And you see that the party have started to leave your ship. They are moving, and you guys head... The breach that was made into the other ship was mostly by your prow into the midsection.
Oh,
of
so
their
it's a
ship.
higher ship. It's a much bigger ship than us.
Well, it's a ship of comparable level, but your ship has breached, has risen up and breached over it. So you can kind of use the prow of your ship as a makeshift gangplank and climb over and get onto their deck. I will not make you make acrobatics checks for it.
I really appreciate that.
That's okay.
I'm waiting for it later.
Well, when you flee, then you'll have to make them to get out in a hurry. And you descend through the fog and into the dead fleet. And we will take a 10-minute break.
You give me the
Right.
dun dun dun.
Cool. Don't go nowhere. I am going to the loo.
Meanwhile, I have break entertainment.
Oh, yeah. This is a
You
good
go for a smirk as well.
Yes, probably.
Now that we are out of character, Josh has provided me with. So
Homework.
far, I no. This is cooler. This is that I have cast identify twice on my book that I found on an elf, and he has given me 2 chapters. Apparently, I've chosen to read chapter 1 and gone, that's boring. Let's go to chapter 10. Good things happen in chapter 10.
Skip to the end.
So this is what chapter 1 says. Chapter 1. What is power? Lack of question mark. Power is the ability to make your will manifest. You are either born into power or must forever be subservient. You, child, are born into power. Born into the fight. The fight is as aged as life itself, and yours is the destiny of champions. Knowledge, wealth, and glory are yours by birthright. You are an inheritor of one of the ancient forces, the first powers. They will grant you strength that you may vanquish their opponents' champions and bring all of the vast empire of the land under one force. Yours. Very short chapter, but that's chapter 1. Clearly going, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's go for some juicy things. And seeing some interesting diagrams, I went to chapter 10. The making of tools. Yours are the magics, with a K and a C, of sorcery, which we knew, and this bit's new, and artifice. By gathering correct materials and imbuing them with your will, you can construct items wondrous and mighty. Wood is best for wands, though metal or crystal will change the attunement. Consult your oracle to find the signature artifacts of your potentate. Guard those secrets jealously, for toys and trinkets are treasures for traitors. Since your enemies are cunning and manifold, you should rightly prize their knowledge of construction. Seize their artifacts, that you may weaken them and craft your own in their image. So it would seem that in this setting, sorcerers are the source of magic items, which is fun.
You're going to be the enchanter. What artificer?
So yeah, I have an oracle apparently who I need to consult, and then they'll tell me how to make cool stuff. But I need to get wood. Where are we going to find wood? Come on. And metal or crystal. So yeah, that's what I've gleaned so far as I spend more uses of identify I'm sure more will be revealed in these incredibly short chapters. It's more of a pamphlet than a book, but yeah, that's what I've got so far. So I can has power. I knew that. I can has power to make magic items. I didn't know that.
It's a beginner's guide to magic.
To my magic, which is not normal magic. Normal magic is you have to learn runes and draw runes, and then runes become spells. That's magic. What I do is weird. So
I'm sure I can find some gems.
oh, Josh needs to do a thing as well. Maybe that won't be until later, but
More secrets.
more secrets. So how much of a chance does Swift have with
That's the important details.
So out of character,
yeah.
Freya is interested up until she discovers how it is you played Neve so hard at that game, and then she's not interested at all.
Oh, I see. That's how it works, is it? Right. I can keep that one up my sleeve a little longer.
But now that I've seen Tinders,
Yep.
Jesus.
And this is the art which Josh, this is GM approved art for Tyndall. Hopefully that's in focus. So he's a lot buffer than Zoe knew.
I assumed.
It's like that classic trope in all the movies when suddenly they take the shirt off and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
For him it's helmet hair.
Yeah.
like he just came across as he's a noble.
Yeah, but you're a noble.
Actually,
Yep.
no, not really. Not on the inside. He seems like a noble on the inside.
I'm not sure he is. You know, he's got a weird fascination with, you know, construction, but he doesn't. You know, he seems to have the heart. He seems quite enjoying his walk in the wilderness.
Tyndall's voice is amazing. Chat doesn't think Tyndall's voice is amazing. Tyndall's voice is amazing. Very endearing.
He thinks the lady doth protest too much.
I've stopped protesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go to Krassos.
Well, that's a step forward.
Can't really talk about it without potentially spoiling.
No. We'll talk about it.
In the secret chat.
I have returned.
Do you have 1 to 3 slips of paper?
For whom? What am I missing? I haven't made all of this. I'm going to. It's a lovely idea for a prop, and it's just going to be what it is.
Fine.
Is the answer. No, I don't have 1 to 3 slips of paper. I have a whole bunch of slips of paper which will go in. But that's fine. Yeah, we'll handle that as we handle it.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe not today.
Okay.
Right, let's go and poke the big fucking door.
Tyndall's voice isn't hot. Speak for yourself.
My lady. Yeah. Kind of his go-to. How I get into Tyndall. Yeah. And we're here. Yes.
Hello, Boris Johnson a little bit.
Sic biscuitem disintegratus.
Yes, Laura Mitchell.
I'm sorry, no amount of attractive images would go over the fact that he's now Boris Johnson.
He is in no way Boris Johnson. I must make this clear. We are back as the party make their way, lowering themselves from the prow of their ship into another amidst the fog. You hear the plaintive voice crying out for help somewhere off in the distance. The masts of the ships stick out against the fog, and it is cold now.
To try and prevent the turning aroundingness that has been happening when we walk through the fog, every time we hear the cry, I'm going to be shooting off, again, a little flare in that direction, so
So-
that we can try and follow the flares.
Great. That's wise.
So we're all of the assumption that that's probably a trap, right?
That's a person. They need help.
It may not be a person. It may be something luring us in. But
I'm with the big fella.
we need to go and look.
Well,
We'll do what we're here for.
What you're here for. I'm here to make sure that you come back to my boat to continue what you promised.
We're doing what we promised. We're protecting your boat. It's a shame we can't get it unstuck, really. Let's go, shall we?
How does Captain Swift deal with this?
Captain's Swift thinking about a retort.
Yes, come on, Captain Swift.
So are you going to tittle yourself again, Tittle?
I'm going to say, oh, ignore him in highbrow to him.
All right. I shouldn't let the peasantry irritate me so. In fact, irk me so. Vex me.
Captain Swift, we can continue this pissing match as long as you like. You know boats a lot better than we do, and the sooner we search all of this stuff, the sooner we get out of here. Can you guide us through this boat? Because you probably know roughly what it looks like a damn sight better than I do.
it's that way.
The help comes crying. You're pretty sure the help is the calls for help are coming from another boat. As you go through, Captain Swift, you know that you look at this boat and you're pretty sure you recognise it. This is a boat that goes up and down the river. That you've seen it before. You're not entirely sure what name it is, but you know that it had a broadly dwarven crew, which was not unusual. But it's one of the trade boats that goes up and down the river. You've been on it before.
Before we move on, this boat typically carries a bit more cash than the rest of the other boats.
Really?
On the way back.
On the way back. It's the boat that you're lodged in. We'll get it on the way back.
To have you earn that,
Would you like a new boat?
my boat's perfect.
I'll take
This
it.
boat doesn't have any locked doors.
Someone roll me a d12.
You cheeky bitch.
A 10. You hear a in the water beside the boat, and you look over and you see that there is a very large dark shape moving alongside the boat, and it's heading away from you. But you see that it crawled off the boat, splashed into the water, and is heading away.
Okay.
We need to do this quickly.
Yep, let's
Right.
move.
Let's go to the other. Let's see if we can locate this.
You lead them unerringly across the boat. You can see that some of the boards are broken, that the rigging is really damp and gross. These sails haven't been cared for in a week and they've been left in this fog, and it hasn't done very good things to them. And with you clearing the air and casting flares to light your way, you see that there are... And the axe, which is glowing. Indeed, the axe glows and leaves a sparkling trail in its wake. Well, it always has done.
I know. It continues to amuse me.
And
Sparkled in.
yeah, it's a magic weapon. Chat, you are entirely correct as to what that was.
Oh, I can't look now. Spoilers.
And it's my random encounter. I'm going to make them roll d12s as they go boat to boat and see if they fight it. You see that there are bodies on this boat. This is the crew that were here. They are very dead.
Very dead. I'm
dead
going
and
to
very
burn them.
Very dead and very eaten, I assume.
Bits of them.
Any we go past, I'm going to burn them.
The boats will be on fire.
You'll set fire to the boat, my lady.
I prod the first dead body I come to with my oar.
They're very dead. They may not stay that way, but we can't
The body that you
risk
poke
setting fire.
was a young dwarf cabin boy. You roll him over, and you see that he is missing half of his face. It looks like it's been chewed off by something.
He be dead.
You right? Are we okay? It's going to be a lot of this. That's actually to both you and Lord Tyndall, actually.
Lord Tyndall, he has recovered from his earlier misadventure. He says, "Fear not. Iris, I will not let you down. My lady, I will not leave your side. Come, let us find the soul that needs help.
Please, I think I heard voices.
Carry on. Right. Don't.
Okay, you reach the edge of the boat and you see there is a gap between this boat and the next boat.
Can I jump it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Just.
Are you gonna?
No one else could. Could I jump back?
Yes, you could jump back easier. The next boat is taller than this one.
Okay.
You are now. You can see. You said there were at least 6. There's probably more. There might be as many as a dozen boats that are all crashed together into a great big island in the middle of the river.
I have rope.
You do?
I'm going to jump across and tie some rope to the river and then chuck it back.
Make me an acrobatics check, please.
Oh, seriously?
Where are your patented natural ones?
15.
On a 15, you handily leap across,
Okay.
looking very swashbuckling as you disappear into the fog, and a rope is thrown back across.
Jorg makes a very disdainful noise. Looks at this, looks at the fact it's only going to get worse. Lord Tyndall, could you give me a hand for a moment? Jorg is going to take his chainmail off.
You spend a couple of minutes and you take the chainmail off. That's fine.
I'm going to.
There is
I'm going to
you
toss.
hear more movement from under the water.
I'm going to toss it back towards toss it back onto Captain Swift's ship, as we're pretty close to that.
Sure.
I'd like to keep it, obviously.
That's fine. Yeah, you go. You throw it onto Captain Swift's ship. No problems.
That I am now without chainmail. So enjoy my lack of DR.
Oh boy. Not just DR, you're also your armor class drops. This makes this session great.
Josh is just like, it's so good. It's like all my Christmases at once.
This is pretty wonderful, actually.
Rwenge.
So what's your new armor class?
Well, it depends whether my dex counts or not.
Yeah.
11.
Your dex only counts if positive. If you have negative dex, it does not negatively impact your armor class.
12 brothers.
12's a good armor class. That's fun. Except that you can make yours 17 if you need to.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, I'll sort that out in a second. For now, you throw your chainmail off. Is there any other admin people want to do, or are we going to crack on?
Well. My dex is -1.
But haven't you got a defensive stance?
No, he took the protective stance, which lets him
he did.
impose
Yes, he
disadvantage,
did.
which is really good, and it has come out useful in every session.
Yep.
You make your way onto the next boat. Freya, you've been waiting there for ages. This boat is also has also got bodies on it.
Mm-hmm.
Perception check through the fog.
14.
On a 14, you can see shapes moving on this boat.
Okay, I'm staying close to the rope.
No, that's fine. You are joined
And
by the
I'm
rest of
very
the party.
quiet.
On a 14, yeah, you
Okay,
can see shapes
yeah,
moving
guys,
through the
there's-
fog, and they are moving in a slow and very shambling way.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get a fix on them with marksman? Could I reasonably hit?
Do you
Oh.
ignore some penalties? Yes, you could reasonably get a fix on them with marksman. You train your crossbow, and you're pretty sure you could sink a bolt into one of these things if you wanted to.
Okay.
Right, let's move slowly in together and as a group.
Captain Swift, you're being given orders again.
So it's Tyndall.
What if these are our friendos?
Then we'll find out as a group.
How loud do you say that?
Reasonably loud because I'm annoyed you're giving me an order.
Please make me a. Oh my god!
Can I prepare an action?
Sorry?
It's a form check.
So what were you going to say?
The moment these things' behaviour changes, I'm taking one out.
Okay, please take me a performance check to say that loud enough to go, this is mock outrage and not be crazy loud. What do you get?
10.
On a 5, that's pretty good.
On a 5, that is pretty good.
Yeah, like, that could have been real bad if I wasn't okay at it to start with.
You say, what was it exactly you said?
What if these be our friendos?
Okay, you say, what if... And there's a hand clamped over your mouth by Lord Tyndall who says, I suggest discretion, my friend.
Don't know what you do in your fancy castles, but where I'm from, man puts his hand over his mouth, man gets stabbed.
You can attempt to stab me later, you brigand.
Brigand!
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna stop training my thing on the ghoul and start training it on this Joker.
wow, okay, you've had a crossbow pointed at you now.
Look. Can you ride a boat? Look.
My love, perhaps there's no need for us to escalate this any... you, Iris, note that the shapes that were moving have stopped moving.
Carry on like this, we're going to die here.
They're not
Pull the
moving
fuck
anymore.
Together.
I'm gonna stop.
Right.
Turn around again.
Then, shut up. We're going on that boat next because those things are there and that boat's clearly attached to the brow.
Sure, give me some orders, I'll follow them. Let's go.
Great. Captain Swift seems much happier in charge now of the expedition, having taken charge. You... Please, are there people there, please? The shapes start moving once again, and they're again moving sluggishly and slowly. I will take a perception check from you, Captain Swift, as you are leading the way.
Oh wow. That's a 5.
Amazing. You
I mean, let's stake at leading this party.
you head
You
on.
do have inspiration though.
You could
choose to
choose
reroll
it for a reroll if you want to.
You can save it for something else.
I probably want to do that, don't I?
So
You save it for your saving throw when I chuck you off the boat.
That's a threat.
That's as clear a threat as any could be. I think I'm gonna be just really bad at spotting this.
Great. You
Your
leave
ego
the
and
party,
smugness got in
and
the way.
there's a brief moment. You're going. You can see the other boat that you want to get to. You can see that it's quite high above this one. You've gone up a boat, and you're about to go up a boat again into a nice big, well-appointed boat. This is, in fact, you can see the name of the boat is written in a gold plate on the side of it. This is The Thirst for Knowledge, is the name of this boat.
Spaceball one.
And you
I hope they
you come to the edge of the boat, and the smoke clears in front of you, and you can see that there are 5 rotting corpses that are stood looking at the boat, stood looking up at it.
On our boat.
On your boat, looking up at the Thirst for Knowledge, are
Yeah.
5 corpses. They are dressed like sailors.
Well, that's a good sign.
I step back behind York.
You do. Would you like to make me a hide check? You can hide behind medium
Yes,
creatures.
I
That's a
would.
thing that halflings can do.
I would like to make a hide check.
Great.
What do I roll for that?
That's a sneak.
Oh, that's okay.
Stealth even.
Oh wow.
Right, you are hidden behind York.
Not very well.
Excellently. Your moustache bristles out the sides.
What's your total?
7.
That's fine. These guys are very good at spotting things.
My lady, if you do your rope trick again, I'm going to keep an eye on these 5 while you organise us a rope over to the other boat.
Not the big boat, right?
No, we're going to the big boat. Because they're looking at the big boat. They're on our boat looking at the big boat.
Okay.
Where else are we going?
They're trying to get to the person shouting, but they can't move from boat to boat.
Right.
They moved onto my boat pretty well.
Do these things look tough?
Not these things.
They look like corpses.
These things used
Do
to
the
be
boat.
sailors.
I'll keep an eye on
things
these.
on your
Okay.
If you
Well,
get
that's
into
it.
any trouble, just come back.
Yeah. Okay. As far away from the undead sailors.
This is quite challenging now. You're going to have to make a leap for this boat, which is fine. But make me an acrobatics check, please.
Oh, no. 11.
11 is not enough. Can you please make me a dexterity saving throw?
24.
Damn you. You see Freya run off into the fog. Freya, you dash off to one side and you take a running sprint. Your 1 foot lands somewhat clumsily. You don't mean it to. It's just hard to judge distances in the fog. You land clumsily on the gantry rail and you almost slip, so you don't get the proper leap on your jump. And your hands grab hold of a little cabin porthole on the side of the ship, and you find yourself dangling in the gap between ships. Below you, you look down, and there is a dark shape and a large pair of jaws come up and go,
Okay.
and then back into the water below you.
I'm going to get on the boat as fast as I can.
That's fine. You don't need to make me another check, T. You clamber up and onto the boat. And man, these zombies are terrible. Why is your perception check so poor, zombies?
Their eyeballs are rotting.
Yeah, something like that. You get on the boat. This boat has got some bodies on it. They are not moving. They are not. They are just corpses. It looks like everything on the boat is dead.
Okay, as quietly as I can, I'm going to tie the rope and take it back.
You tie a rope, you throw it back, and there is a rope dangling over which.
Why
you
assumed
need to
you'd
find.
taken the rope and jumped? Not. Jesus Christ. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Right, everybody start moving. I'll be the last person off.
You have a rope. Who's got the weakest athletics or acrobatics check?
Tyndall.
Yeah, he's going to make it. So he will roll for the party.
If Tyndall gets eaten by a shark,
He's
I will.
You're all good with a rope. It's not hard. And so no, that's okay. But
I'd bite it.
that's the way I'm doing party checks. Is the weakest person rolls. If everybody in the party
Yeah,
has
that's
to succeed,
reasonable.
that's just
Yeah.
saves it a whole bunch of time. So Tyndall, which means you only have the guidance then. So Tyndall, which I'm okay with.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
Giving
so
advice
you
to
give advice to the
very
person. Yeah, that's it. That's how you do it. So Tyndall follows you guys up onto the deck of the much larger ship. This is the largest ship in the collection, and it's clearly the centerpiece of where all these other boats are. And you can hear the voice quite clearly now, saying, "Please, please, I don't know when they'll be back."
Where is this voice coming from?
Below decks.
Okay. Lead on, Captain.
Well, she's not going to be in deck 1 because that's
Is it a
just.
she?
It is a female voice.
So I imagine that we need to go to Dex 3, which is personal cabins, and Dex 4, which will be lead on.
You lead down.
Can we not just ask her where she is?
You could try.
Aside from the
That
fact
might be a good idea.
really obviously
would-
a trap.
It would be loud, but we're already in the trap if it is a trap. And if it's not a trap,
Then ask. You're absolutely right. Then.
Please.
where are you?
Thank God. In fact, thank Craft. Oh, I thought I was truly lost. Please, I'm below decks.
Which deck?
The second deck. The second deck down.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. And Captain Swift leads you down through the bowels of the ships.
There is such a thing as preparing to make an initiative check. I'm doing it.
That's
I am
fine.
so expecting this to go south.
There are bodies around, and it looks like but not as many, you notice, Captain Swift, as you'd expect. There should be more bodies here. A ship this large requires a large crew, and you just haven't seen them. There are some bodies here, and you can see that they are wearing uniforms. They are not just mercantile sailors. This is a uniformed crew. Make me a history check.
No, I really don't.
Great, you have no idea. Thank you, Chad. And you make your way down. Sorry? What did you say?
Tyndall might know.
Tyndall.
Tyndall might.
Yeah, he certainly does. Tyndall looks. He says, "Fascinating.
What's
this? These are. I'll tell you in a second. He says. And.
The GM's about to do a plot description.
That's right. The GM has temporarily forgotten the name of the place in his world, and we'll come back to that when the GM can remember. It's very professional. All my notes are all over the place. You make your way down, and you see that there is a large hallway with cabins on various different sides. This is quite nicely appointed. You wouldn't. I mean, obviously it's a very large ship, but most of the time you don't get your own cabin, whereas it looks like the people who are here had their own berths. Please help me. Please, I'm at the end of the corridor.
Lead on, Captain.
Show yourself.
I can't. I'm locked in my room.
Does it look like the door's locked?
Well, there's a series of doors down this corridor.
I'm just going to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
These doors don't have locks.
Make me a perception check.
17.
You can see that there are locks on some of these doors. They shouldn't, but you're right. This ship design doesn't normally have doors with locks. This is a very fancy and crazy appointed ship.
Okay.
So are they a passenger or a prisoner?
Please, my name is.
That's the question that you're going to find out when you open the door.
Isn't it just? I'm excited. Are
Great.
you?
You reach the outside of the.
My name is.
Sorry.
She said my name is.
Yeah, my name is Gabrielle. You recognise the accent.
Who's that aimed at? Sorry?
Certainly you, definitely Tyndall, and Captain Swift. You all recognise the accent.
Caltain? Cretosian?
It is Carithian.
The nerds.
The nerds.
Really? With a name like the Thirst for Knowledge?
Because my name is Gabrielle Castle. Please,
we're going to go down. We're at the door. Stand back from the door.
Is Castle the same surname as the...
It is.
Ah,
All right. I'm standing back.
Was it Clara Loft's sister?
yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna kick the door in. Let's just do this.
Okay, you kick in the door, and what you see is. You kick the door in. It is sturdy. Please make me an athletics check to see how well you do.
Right.
Oh no, I don't have that. No, it's quite sturdy.
What do you get?
A 10.
A 10. Okay. So you do kick the door down.
Yeah.
But it's going to take you. It's not going to come cleanly.
Yeah.
It is locked, and it's a solid wooden door, and it's going to take you several proper kicks.
I think there's a point where York puts a second in and just like switches to the axe.
And
goes
that's what you have to start hacking through the door. As you do, you see inside the room there is the shape. You can all see through the holes that York is making in the door. There is the shape of a young Carithian girl. You see that she looks similar in build and disposition to Mina Castle, who you met before, and she is standing with a figure next to her. She says, please help me. And the figure next to her is a Sahwagin. And
fish person.
A fish person. They look like this.
Okay.
And
is it an undead one? Or
it is a Sahwagin who is holding a large black trident in one hand, which is faintly glittering.
Okay.
They have one hand on the shoulder of the young girl.
Yeah.
I've got my crossbow out.
That's
If
fine.
It looks like
This is the cutscene that you see as you're
Yeah.
cutting the door open, and the young girl says, "Please," and she turns her head through 180
Yeah.
degrees,
Okay.
and you can see her tongue lolling out the side of her mouth, and her dead eyes looking at all of you. As the Sahwagin turns as well, sees you and speaks with the girl's voice. The girl speaks as the Sahwagin touches her and says, "I'm so glad you've come."
Okay.
And it's initiative.
Should we sit and walk up?
It's for everybody can.
Come on.
Everybody can roll new initiative. That's fine. The question was,
Did
did you
got
get
a paladin microphone?
the question was, did you get a surprise round? Did they get a surprise round? What was the? that was-
No. It's I appreciate that. Like, we are. Everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
That's basically the thing that's happened here. 15.
Oh, you
Oh,
can
no, yeah.
put yourself. Stop telling him and do it.
Yeah, dick.
Yeah, go for it.
Dickon.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
John Deacon.
Iris gets a 19. Everything in the room catches fire.
Yeah.
Tinder gets
Yeah.
an 18
Burn the
again.
boat. I think burn the boat is a good strategy.
Other side of me.
Oh, fine.
Can I borrow one of your pencils?
I mean, this is going to be full of loot, you realise.
There's probably plenty of loot here.
There is.
I think we kill this and see how we go.
And the glittery trident.
Sea Hooligan, says chat, as a nice way for Sahwagin.
Sea hooligan.
Which I think is a
Is that the technical pronunciation, chat? Sorry, I'm looking up there. You're not up there anymore. You're there. Josh, do we?
These guys are really good.
Do we want to play map for this?
We will have a play map for this, yes.
Excellent. And we will clear the board, boys and girls.
Great. So, where are all my things? I'm so woefully ill prepared for this session, and that is because I've been working with it. I only need one of those, thank you. Appreciate it. Great. Okay, so I'll get that in a second. So the room that you are about to enter looks like it's a. There is not. It's annoying. If you can find me a suitable map, I'm happy to use it. These are the dimensions of the room. The corridor stretches on like this. You can see there are other doors.
Broad corridor.
That's what is a very broad corridor. It's a really big boat. It looks like, to give you perspective, like imagine like a modern pleasure liner.
Yeah.
That's kind of the. I mean, obviously not colossal in scale, but for a medieval era. Right. Okay. So have we all got our bits and pieces? This is your initiatives. What did I read the numbers? 18, 19, 19. Do you all get what?
No, that's a 9.
That's a 9, 8, 9. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty interesting.
Seemingly Freya got hit with a paladin micro patch there.
Oh,
piss.
And Fred decided to roll the
and I
dice.
will put more people in as they turn up. That's the way to do this. Thank you. So the Sahwagin turns and she goes first. She is going to turn and say, yeah, she says, "I'm so glad you've come," with the voice of the little thing. And she points her black trident at the door.
Yeah.
And the girl's eyes go dark and she drops to the ground. And you see the spirit essence move through her, channeled into the trident and shoot out. One from each of its points there appear in front of you. So I need to put the sack with you. I'm using a Lizardman just because that's what I've got. Lizardman is there. Shoots out.
On the map.
Yes, please, put yourselves on the map. I will describe what's in the room in just a second. Shoots out 3 creatures that come surging towards you. They burst through the door, through the walls, and are surrounding you. There are ethereal blue spirits that are swirling around you, and she says, "Mordred will taste you all." And she casts Bless on her things. That's pretty good. Right. I've got 3 things.
Okay. Cool.
Right, that was her action. Iris, you're up.
Okay.
Okay is right.
On the boat.
Let's not set a fire just yet.
We haven't got to full oh shit territory yet.
Okay, this could be interesting.
But you know.
I'm going to. They're right next to me, are they?
They are. Sorry, they are coming forwards. They are not yet. I'll do that on their turn. They are not yet through the wall. They are, but you can see that they are coming towards you, and they look insubstantial and spectral. They all look like the girl in different aspects. I'll describe them more on their turn. But you can see, imagine like ghostly figures in shades of light blue that are coming through the fog.
I suspect sleep will not work on ghosts.
You can try.
Well,
I mean, if you really boss your dice rolls, you can make Josh very upset and sleep the Sahagrin, but...
yeah.
You can.
I've got other plans.
Make Josh
Upcasted.
She's pretty good. Use it or lose it.
Okay, I am going to...
Oh, these guys are sick.
I'm going to twin cast Toll the Dead on the ghosts that are coming forward.
Ooh, I love it. Toll the Dead will definitely do D12 against ghosts.
Okay, then
which won't matter because it'll still roll a 1.
you need to give me a wisdom saving throw. So I spend 1 sorcery point to wisdom saving throw for each of these 2 that I can see.
Yeah, okay.
Wisdom saving throw with the bless, of course.
So you're twin casting Toll the Dead. Okay,
Yeah.
That's not great for me. So the first one, natural 20, and a 4 on the bless. The second one, 19 and a 3 on the bless. They pass their saves.
Yeah, then nothing happens.
That's I get to roll good too sometimes.
Yep.
True fact.
And then I'm going to move away because I work better at range.
So Iris, there's a dull dong, but you hear the sound is muted and muffled as you. The sound doesn't travel very far in the fog, and it seems to billow around these things. Although, what kind of damage would that do?
Necrotic.
That is Yeah, okay, fine. That has been done. Iris went, then it is Lord Tyndall. And Lord Tyndall says, I will defend you, my lady, and steps in front of you and has no idea what to do.
Yeah.
He is going to take the dodge action and go, what should we do? York, he looks for orders. It is you.
I'm going to smack one in the face.
Do it. What, one of these
smack them
ghosts?
in the face?
Yeah, do it. You can try.
I'm going to smite it and see what
Well,
happens.
it's like a magic weapon, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait to see if you hit before you smite.
Yeah, that's a very good point. However, on a 14, I probably do against a ghost.
14 is enough to hit this thing. So you see this one. You swing and the mighty.
I will move into here. I will step into the room and draw fire. Let's do this.
Great. The mighty axe thunder swings through the rest of the door.
Oh yes, extra D8. Sorry.
Yes, right. The mighty axe thunder swings through the rest of the door, and it goes straight into the insubstantial and incorporeal form. It begins to billow up around him. It begins to billow up around the axe, and the axe, it gives a horrible shriek as it cleaves through this creature. How much damage do you do?
That is 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Got it. Okay, that's a lot. You do 18 points of damage, and yeah, the blue light that comes from your axe shines out around it, and the white that you have, the white streak that trails behind it, has cleaved through the fog, and as it did, you can see that that part of the fog has started to disperse.
Okay.
You are cutting through with your smites, pushing back the undead influence. You don't need to spend a divine sense. You are getting something pinging from that trident right fucking there.
Noted.
You are getting a very... and indeed all the undead that are here.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it is
Am I in fact
now...
getting some woo?
You are getting some woo and maybe some wibble. It is some spectres. Let's have some goes with them. So, the first spectre. You notice as you cut into this thing that it looked a lot like the young girl who was standing there. This is the young girl, and she has on her face a look of fear. She's still coming for you. She's,
No, that's for sure.
but
Is
that's
it looking in any way inconvenienced by what just happened?
very much so.
Oh, good. I'm really glad about that.
It is deeply unhappy, and it is going to retaliate by swinging at you. Using that. What's your armor class, please?
Not enough.
Ah! It naturally fails.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it surges in towards you, and you see it's having difficulty keeping its form together. Whatever the damage you've done to it has rendered it very difficult. It is going to, however, go. Yeah, it's going to stay right there. This one is going to attack you with advantage.
Attack of opportunity moving through my threatened area, or is it?
We're not doing attacks of opportunity like that. You can move through one square without triggering an attack.
Okay,
of
that's
opportunity.
absolutely fine.
This one's going to have a go at you with advantage and do the best that it can do. Come on, thing that... Yeah, that's a hit. Would you like to take yourself a whole bunch of pain? As this one looks like the young girl's face twisted in rage.
Okay.
And she reaches out with a fist and pushes it, and you guys can see that the spectre's fist goes into York, pushes into his chest, and York, you cry out. You can't help it, as there's a surge of energy, and the thing appears to grow more powerful. Would you like to lose 13 hit points max, please?
Sorry, so my max hit points are now...
Reduced by 13, that is correct. Captain Swift.
Captain's left to see what's just happened. And has promptly decided that Tiddle's defensive stance is a good place to be behind.
Okay, so you, Captain Swift, you shove thee behind Tyndall's defensive stance. That is a reasonable thing for you to do. What are you going to do?
I'm also going to ready a defense, because I don't want them coming for me either.
Oh my god! Okay, you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's like legit possible here. That would be sad if that occurs, but it really might. Okay, so you step back and hide behind Tyndall, would you like to give anyone a bardic inspiration dice?
Yeah, I am actually going to give you all good bardic inspiration dice.
D6, yeah.
How are you going to do this? What do you say?
York, don't die.
Yeah, 10 points to Team Tyndall. I think it's a pretty.
Build a better chest!
Okay, Freya, you are up.
Can I shoot at the corporeal enemy?
Yes, you can.
Awesome.
Sneak attack, but
21.
Yeah, you really hit.
Nice.
does she have sneak attack?
You are attacking from. I'm not sure if you're hidden. Yeah, sure, you can have sneak attack. Yes, absolutely. This is a tough one.
Okay.
Still may not go very well.
2d6, yeah.
Total damage
11.
11. So the Lady Freya, as Captain Swift comes and hides behind Tyndall, you sort of look derisively at him and then swing out, take a bead through the fog, and a single bolt goes into the Sahwagin priestess, who takes it, and with really not expecting to. It thunders into her and she takes a step backwards.
Concentration check for the blast.
Yeah, absolutely. She's fine. Though, yeah, good shot.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think I can actually damage the ghosts, so I'm going to be shooting at the
crossbow. She really didn't enjoy that crossbow bolt at all. And so she takes 11 points of damage. She turns and she says, "I will eat your bones." And it's
Top of the round.
It is the top of the round, which is the next spectre, which rolled amazing initiative but was not on the board. And so the last spectre is going to go through the wall into the passage, and you see the almost crying face of the little girl comes towards you and reaches out her hands, and she's going to attempt to touch you for that's a hit. Would you like to take?
That's a lot of dice being picked up there.
Would you like to lose 9 maximum hit points?
Okay,
So
do I take any actual damage?
Yes.
Well, no,
You
sorry.
are
You're
undamaged,
taking,
but
you are undamaged, but your maximum hit points is dropped by 9.
That's fine, I'm nowhere near that.
That's cool.
No, you had a full rest. So we had
It feels she's taking
Oh, no,
big
she-
damage.
she's
There is a deep chill that chills you to the bone, and you can feel it feels like emotions and memories are going from you. It feels like she's pulling the life force out of you, and she might continue. The Sahwagin priestess is going to turn and cast.
Oh, no, please not whole person.
That would be funny. No, the spectres are dealing with you. She's going to say, I'll randomise it. I really don't mind. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's 5 people.
Sorry? Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm including more. 1, 2, 3. Captain Swift, would you like to?
No.
Tough, you'll eat it.
She may miss you. She does not miss you. There is a surge of darkness. She whisks the trident around, and some of the fog seems to gather to it. It's now becoming clearer in the room. You can see that there is a bed in there, there is a chest in there. This is someone's living quarters, and she whirls around a great pool of black energy. It's inky dark and hanging in the air. She picks it up and she hooks it towards you, and it goes flying towards you. You give her disadvantage because you took the dodge action. And the great big ball of black energy goes and flies past you and into the wall, where it begins to corrode it. Good job with the dodge. Iris, you're up.
Okay. I am going to. Can I see the priestess from where I am?
Yes, the door is no longer there. You can
Yeah.
absolutely see the priestess.
No, I think you've got to deal with her because I've got to help these ghosts.
Spectres are awesome.
Having failed hideously with previously, and again feeling the throbbing on one shoulder, I'm going to attempt to twin cast acid bolt.
Oh, sick.
One at this one at this one.
Do the damaged one, please. Can I keep it?
At which, please?
The ones I can't see it. It's behind a wall.
It's fine. I count damage in an interesting way, so you're gonna count it anyway.
That one and that one.
Great. Yep.
Okay, so the first one. This is plus.
They're not hard to hit.
Okay, and it's.
I'll tell you right now, the DC is 12. If you roll 12, you have hit these things.
Yeah, the first one takes 2.
All right.
And this one takes 8.
8. Okay. Just. Which one do you do the?
Second one's that.
Lovely. So through one of the holes in the door, Jorg, you can see that something has reached up to try and get you, and has been seared away by a bolt of acid.
This is not something you've seen Iris do before?
No, Iris has fired a jet of green energy, and as you do, you feel the tattoo that you've got grows a little bit bigger. And there's a bolt of green energy which bursts into the ghost and evaporates it from the inside out. That occurred. Congrats, you have wasted that Spectre. It is Lord Tyndall. And Lord Tyndall says, "For shame, you coward!" And he's going to charge at this Spectre. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He comes around this way, and he swings ineffectually twice.
Okay.
Does he give someone a move?
Yes, he does. Would anybody like to take a move?
The ghost that died wasn't the one that I damaged, was it? It was this one that I damaged.
Yes, I do.
No, they are. Are they like a collective entity?
That
How
is
far
interesting.
could I move? Could I get next to that thing?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you could. You would provoke an attack of opportunity from the Spectre. Unless you took the bonus action disengage.
Just go and do it on your turn, can't you? Bonus actions.
You can
Yes, you can only in your turn.
I'm assuming by making sure Dusty does not come in, seeing as they're immune to healing.
How much health are you on? Well, no, actually, they're taking away your maximum hit points, and like if that's
Yeah, actually, that's fine. I'm going to attempt that.
Great.
So,
It's going to make an attack of opportunity with no advantage. What's your AC?
15.
Does an 8 hit you? On with bless. I still can't hit you. No, it doesn't hit you. You run up into the Sapagin priestess, who turns and she lowers the trident at you and glowers. You can see that now you're close enough to see her. Her fish scales are really weird. She looks, Sapagin in my world are like scaleless lizard men. Right? They're lizard people with gills. They are descended from the same kind of...
it's like more slimy skin kind of.
Yeah, they're really gross. And she looks at you with her big white eyes. What do you do?
I'm going to attack.
Yeah, do
I've
it.
got my sword.
Yeah,
and just do a single attack with
she's
my
not that
sword.
hard to hit.
Wait, well, sorry, whose initiative were we on?
Oh no, sorry, you've just run up to her, right? Sorry, yeah. That's why I was
Sorry.
You're up.
Um,
We'll get to you in a second, Freya.
still breathless, I
Mhm.
think, from this. He's gonna, we're gonna go into the one next to me. He's gonna choke out. Elaine's light, lay your spirit to rest, and probably misses. 11? No, it was 12, wasn't it?
12 is the AC.
12 is the AC, at which point I think there's just so much air been taken out of him, he can barely heft the axe.
Yeah, you pick it up and you struggled over the words. You were.
Yeah.
You can hear a voice that's in your head and it's shouting and it's like Elaine is trying to get through to you, and you can feel this reaching out, and she just like there's something here makes it really hard.
I gave
I'm
you a
gonna
bardic
stagger-
inspiration at the
Oh,
start.
snap, son! Yeah.
That's not where Bardic Inspiration dice goes, but
It's going to be at least a 1.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, you hit.
which
Congratulations.
means I hit. Clearly, that inspiration was
That's right, you all full of shit.
suck it.
You're smiting that as well.
I am smiting the shit out of this.
How much?
That is
Fucking paladins being good at killing undead.
almost as if this encounter was just me. Right, so that's 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
You're absurd. These things have DR everything. Except
magic
this. Right,
holy smite things.
There is a... it's like Jorg hasn't stopped. He brought his axe down once, and he brings it up again, and this time the girl's eyes and her pleas mean nothing to you. You sweep through and you cleave her body in half, and the ethereal vapor dissipates into the fog. The fog is lifting now, and it is becoming easier to see. However, there is still one spectre left, and it is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from Lord Tyndall because it doesn't care, and it's going to. It is mindless. It's going to do as it can, and it's going to come here, and it's going to reach out and try and touch you, Captain Swift. What is your armor class, please?
15.
It hits you. Would you like to take?
No.
Hey, cool. New news, you're getting a new boat.
Oh my god. Would you like to lose 16 maximum hit points?
Oh wow. Would everyone like to know what my maximum hit points are now?
Is it? It's what?
5.
Well, we're excited.
That went
Good
well.
news, you're undamaged.
You and your 5 undamaged hit points are up.
Well, this changes my turn massively, considering that any damage is going
If
to
you
kill
drop
me.
to 80 HP, you're just dead.
That's
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's totally how that works.
You have no maximum hit points. You cannot be revived.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because these things are really fucking unpleasant.
They're so good. They're only CR1. They're awesome.
No what?
I know they're gross. They're gross.
It's not bug.
They're not that hard to kill. Like that's the thing.
Swift.
I mean, we've already established
It's
that you
taken
can't
me-
You have
hit
to.
it with.
Swift, you're up.
It's taken me 2 smites so far, Josh.
Okay, I'm going to move
Yep.
to there.
That's
Are
good.
you
Do you take a
disengage action?
disengage to not get attack of opportunity?
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's using your action then, so you
That's-
can't
yeah.
you can't attack or use any other
That's
things which
fine.
are like
I
whole
will
actions.
just fucking run
Okay, so
because I can't take any damage.
it doesn't attack you. Yeah.
Are you giving anybody bardic inspiration?
No.
guys.
I have 1 left. Come on.
That's so good.
I mean,
Sure.
no, that's cool.
Okay. That's incredible. Freya, you're up.
Right. Well, the castle send their regards. I have sneak attack on this person because they're the only enemy within 5 feet.
That is true.
I'm just going to try and lop one of their limbs off.
Does it give you advantage? Or just
no,
sneak?
just sneak-
Just
just sneak
sneak.
attack.
Fine.
But make the attack. She's not that hard to hit. She's a priest. She does a bunch of hit points.
like more than
17.
20.
Yeah, you really hit. You're so hit. Her DC is 11. You
Roll,
have to roll an
roll a
11.
second one because you're using 2 weapons.
No, I've got one sword and my crossbow out. At the
You could have dropped the crossbow and drawn your other sword if you wanted to.
Nah.
That's fine. Right. Happy. Go for it.
Go.
So 3d6. So 5. That's good. Plus 8.
9
And
Plus
some extra bits.
12.
Ooh, that's quite a lot.
12.
Okay,
12. It's plus 5.
You slash into her, and
No,
you
it's plus 3.
whatever. You have done
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the damage to this priestess, and she tries to parry your blade, but she is too slow, and you easily evade the black trident, which you seems to be moving quite sluggishly through the air.
Concentration check.
Yeah. How many times did you hit her? Or
Just
just
the
once?
second time, isn't it?
Yeah. The bless disappears. In fact, there's a clang as she parries one of your strikes with your scimitar, and the trident shakes, and you see that the Sahuagin priestess also shakes, and the black magic disappears from around the spectre. She curses at you, and she is going to. She turns the trident and she jabs it in towards you, and she.
Oh, can I do my bonus action to disengage?
Careful with that.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Can you do bonus action disengage?
Yes.
You do you have any movement left? You don't have it. Oh
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Tyndall pushed up there.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yes, you can.
So
Yeah. Okay.
attack, and then,
And okay, so as you run away, she lances the trident towards you and tries to do what she did before. What's your armor class, please?
15.
No, I think this might just be magic.
15. 15 is good. Would you like to take, as a bolt of black energy comes towards you, 15 points of damage?
I'm down.
Freya is temporarily illuminated in an orb of dark light. It looks like all of the colours are inverted on her, and then she drops to the ground and is out. What was your maximum hit point total, please?
At that time,
Yes.
15.
Okay, you're okay. So she didn't kill you, because if you do someone's max hit point damage to them,
Yeah, negative. Yeah.
they're dead. Yeah, these are awesome. That was her. Iris, you're up.
Iris,
Okay.
safe prayer.
None can stand before the might of Mordred,
She says.
foolish girl.
So I will spend a sorcery point to distance spell die. Giving a range of 30 feet.
Yeah.
So you are stabilised.
Congratulations on not having to roll a natural 1 on your death saving throw again.
And then that's my action, isn't it?
Mhm.
So with my movement, I could run away, but I think I'll just have to stand here.
That one's taken an attack of opportunity this round. It cannot take another.
Oh, then I will. What can I do that's useful and interesting? Not loads. Come and stand next to you, because if something attacks me, I might get disadvantage imposed on
So
it
did that one take attack of opportunity yet?
against Freya.
I took it against.
Yeah, I'm sure it took one.
Because I disengaged, so it couldn't take it against me.
Oh yeah. In which case,
It did take
in which case it hasn't, because it went. It had its go.
Ah, yes. So
She stands there and goes, "Please don't hurt me."
yeah, that's fine. I'll
Great.
almost certainly be fine.
Lord Tyndall says, "Beloved," and comes charging at you. 1, 2. He's going to go through your square.
Yeah,
Your
it's fine.
3, 4, 5, 6, and he is going to make an attack. Someone roll me a d20 and a d8. He misses. Okay.
Can somebody else roll a d20 instead?
Team Swift says, "I'm sorry, Lord Tyndall. I suppose
Oh,
you
no.
missed."
I'm sorry, you can't save your beloved.
He swings and he goes for a strike. York, would you like a free mid action?
Yeah.
Nice. That was that. It is now York. You're up.
Nope. No, like.
Would you like to have moved so you had advantage on this strike? Because
Yes, I
because that's a
absolutely could have
thing
done it
that
there.
you could easily do,
And
and you would know to do this.
yeah,
Like, it's
that's
not
absolutely
advantage one way or another. That's fine.
8.
8 damage in total.
Yep.
Okay, so York runs round and he slams his axe into this thing, and it seems like it's absorbed some of the essence of the other two, and the girl's face is now torn in 3 different emotions. Your axe bites into it and it turns, and you can see that the axe's mere presence near it is causing it physical pain. And so it's going to turn and surge towards you.
Please no.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Definitely hits.
It really does. Okay, that's fine. Interesting. Would you like to lose 10 maximum hit points?
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have left? 5.
5 buddies!
5 after the 10.
I have 5 hit points. I'm on my maximum hit points are currently 5.
After this 10 that's just hit you.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was wondering. I needed to know if I had just killed you.
You had not just killed me.
Right, thank you. Because that could have happened there.
No. I would have given you slightly more telegraphing as to
That's fine. Yorg, at this point, it's getting hard to focus. The cold, this thing reaches a fist inside Yorg's head, and you feel like your memories are being pulled out of you. You feel like the things that make you you are being pulled out of you. And you bat it with your axe, and it flails away. But the girl opens her mouth once again and looks at you. Captain Swift.
Captain Swift is pissed off.
What's he going to do about it?
Captain Swift is gonna start trash talking. But not vicious mockery.
Why not?
I'm gonna use Bane instead, because that's charisma as opposed to a wisdom save on her.
Ooh.
Good choice.
I don't suppose these have charisma, do they? But if they do, I can do it on both of them.
You can definitely do it on both of them.
Then I
It
cast
will-
charisma on both of them.
It will attempt, so you're casting Bane on them.
Yeah.
The Spectre actually makes it safe, I'm sorry to say. And she does not. So she is baned,
which is minus D4.
which is minus D4 to everything
I
she
am
does.
comparing her to several shite forms of seaweed.
You're worse than most forms of seaweed. I can, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Swell. Okay, that was wicked. That was your action. Would you like to do anything else, or are you happy just cussing from the back?
I'm just cussing at her.
Lovely. Do you want to give everyone bardic inspiration?
You know what? I'm going to give I'm going to give Tyndall some more bardic inspiration.
Each person can only have one.
What, per session?
No, at a time.
Tyndall already has one.
He's got one. He's going to use
Oh, I see. I didn't really use this. Then no.
it. Cool. Freya, you're up.
Am I?
You sleep
No,
wet.
sorry, Freya, you are asleep. You are, which means that the Sahuagin priestess is still around, and she is going to attack Lord Tyndall with an unfortunate -D4
Because she sucks.
which literally saves his life. As she brings up the trident two-handed and goes to bring it down on him, and there's crackling bolts of energy that come from it, and it goes straight through the wooden deck as if it wasn't there. And Tyndall steps around to one side, as she was momentarily distracted by your coarse shouting. He gives you a nod, and then he's going to think about what he's going to do in a second. Iris.
Okay, this spectre. So casting while engaged doesn't provoke anymore. Is that true?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Yorg's got this spectre thing sorted, but that I hope.
Really do with the advantage.
I'm not moving anywhere, but I'm
Good.
going
But
to target a spell.
This ghost-like wraith in between
how
you.
badly is it looking off this?
It's not looking great. It's really not looking great.
Okay.
No, your choice. No, choose where you
As
go.
a bonus action, I'm going to give up a level 1 spell slot for 2 sorcery points.
Nice.
Then I'm going to use a sorcery point. This acid thing seemed to work before, and I've got 2 targets now, so I'll have an acid bolt on the thing right in front of me,
Yep.
and then another one on the
Do
priest. So on the ghost.
Ghost. You.
7 plus
11 is
5.
your. No, 12 is your DC.
Does she get an advantage? Because I.
You hit 7 plus 5.
4, 5, 6 plus 7 plus 6, yeah.
Yep,
So it's
you
hit
hit.
for 1.
Okay, it takes it.
And on the Sangwaheen is a hit for 2.
Okay, you have dealt them both damage.
Yay, go me. That was uninspiring.
That's unfortunate when you roll
Yeah,
that. But yeah, the Sahuagin, you see, takes another bolt of green acid and backs away, hissing at you all. And she's very annoyed. However, Lord Tyndall, do it. Kill Steal Tyndall.
No, not kill steal. He earned this fucking kill. Do it.
So someone else can roll the attack for me. It's a D20 and a D8.
I think.
Yeah, do it. Absolutely, yes. You can get it back while you're out of the combat.
20.
He
Oh.
crits. Roll 2D8.
Which one's the D8?
The 2 pyramids.
Oh!
Spikes the damage.
Plus his strength.
Yeah, he's got +2 strength. So how much?
15.
16. Well, she had 12 hit points left. So Tyndall.
Fuck yes, Tyndall.
Oh! Tyndall reaches up with his blade, and he says, "Do not mess with my lady." And he runs her through, and she looks astonished that this tiny man has done this, and she claws at the wound, and she tries to pull the blade out. You see she cannot drop the black trident in one hand. She's trying to grab it, but the black trident is moving with her hand. And she fails to get it out, and you see the life draining from her eyes. The spectre dissipates. And as you see the Sahuagin priestess die, as the life leaves her, the Sahuagin priestess is on the verge of death.
I'm going to do it. You know I'm going to do it.
Okay, the Sahuagin priestess is on the verge of death, and
What the hell are you doing?
I love this. I love this so hard. She turns and she says, "In slaying me, you have only made him more powerful."
Spare the dying.
I'll take a... Yeah, you know what? That just works. That's deeply, deeply annoying. Okay, wonderful. Cast Spare the Dying.
I do.
And you see the Sahuagin priestess's look of sort of ecstasy turns as she realizes she's still impaled on this sword and being kept alive. No! No, she shouts and tries to flail. She's still conscious, even while clearly in the throes of death. And then there is a heavy presence in the room. It feels like you are all being pushed down into the ground.
Including me in the corridor? I would have moved in with Iris.
Yeah. It's a deep, pervasive presence. It's
probably
just
going, no!
It's just like a real thickness, and you see the Saquonian priestess's eyes turn dark, just jet inky black, the same kind of black that she was swirling around before. And she speaks, and she says, I see. The game has begun then. The powers are moving. Elaine. And my, aren't you an interesting one?
Scratch my shoulder.
I will find sturdier champions. The Saquagin dies. And that is where we're going to leave this session. Yeah, wow. Thank you very much, guys. That was awesome. We're going to take a brief break and then come back for character chats and debriefing and other bits and pieces.
Are we going to be able to make it back safely, basically? Or is that something for next session?
That's a thing we can have a chat about in a second. Sure. Right. Yeah, wow. I'm going to do a sign off for the video and then we'll keep rolling. So, guys, this has been episode 11 of the War of Inheritance. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I hope you have enjoyed it. We certainly have. If you have, you can find us every Thursday at 8 on Twitch. With twitch.tv/CellPenGM. There's a link in the description below. And you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/CellPen for all of our back catalogue, so you can look through all of our adventures so far and guess with the party about the horrors that they might be facing next. I hope everyone will join me in saying a big thank you to Dan for stepping in and
Well, I'm happy to.
Doing an Irish accent.
I very much enjoyed it. And we will see you all next week. Thank you very much, and keep rolling them dice.
Bye.
Bye. Right, okay, so we are